Now, the question says create a multidimensional array which has 10 rows and 4 columns. Right. Then we need to first define the array. And again, we need to have an idea what type of values should we store in the array. Again, it says take values from the user. And first column, the number, second column to the power 2, third column to the power 3, and let's say fourth column to the power 4, and the fifth column, square root. Right. Then, right, 5 columns required. Okay, let's declare the array. 10 rows and 5 columns. Right. Then, since the square root is there, we have to use a double type values. Right. Then let's declare it is a multidimensional array. ARR equals new double size 10 rows and 5 columns. Right. Right. Now it's matter of right now asking the value from the user. We'll ask user enter the number. And then I'm going to use a for loop. Right. Integer I equals 0. Then I know the size actually. Then I less than 10. I plus plus. Now what should I do now? ARR. I throw 0th column. I need to get the number. At the number, first we need to have the scan object then. Right? And then from the scan object, we'll get the value. Now we can have, let's say, user gonna enter integer value. Method power number to the power 2. This has to be square root, then math dot square root. And then it's a matter of displaying the array. Right now, quickly send me how can we display this array. Right. Okay, thank you. Now, int I equals 0, I less than 10, I plus plus, j equals 0, j less than. Now, let's say now I don't know the size of the array. Then I can have arr dot length. Then j less than arr height column dot length. Right now my concern is now this is how it displays. Right now here I want to have a heading here first. X to the power 2, x to the power 3, x to the power 4, x to the power half or square root. Likewise, and then here I need to display only here only the whole numbers because only point 0 whole numbers, not the decimal values. And here I want to display only up to 2 decimals. Right now, quickly format. I want you to format this. These things I want to have only with the positive values, the whole integers. First column, second column, third column, fourth column, only the integers, no decimals, and the last column with 2 decimals. And I want to have a heading as well. Okay, try out quickly. Have you done it now? Now, the problem is now, here we need to format the output now. What you have to do now, you have used the print method and the print ln method. Like now, here the main difference between the print method. Right now, here we need to format the string, right? Then we have, when you use print method or print ln method, print method will print whatever arguments you have passed, right? In the same line and the cursor stays on the same. But if you use the print ln method will print whatever the content, and thereafter it will move to the next line. Therefore, print ln is used when you want to print something, and right when you want to move the cursor to the next line. But then you have, there's another method called printf. Now we have print ln, and then we have printf. Printf can be used to format. Printf is for formatted strings. And now, therefore, using printf method, you could format. And now here, if you want to format, right now, if you really want to format here, like now here, you want to have only two decimals right now. Now, how can you format in the print method? Uh, could you please try with the print method? How can you format? Okay, let's say now I want to display 1 without point 0. How can you do that? Quickly try and tell me how to format this without printf method. Thereafter, I'll show you how to do it using print method, printf method. Here we don't need any decimals now, right? Therefore, I could say print here. The main difference between print and printf methods are, right now the print method is printing only whatever the values you have passed, right? Or whatever the values of the text it will print. And here, let me, we have the print method, and then we have the print ln method, and then we have the printf method. Right now, print method you know already. Now, what it does, it will print text or values. It will print text or values, right? To the console. And yes, to the console, right? And yes, and the println method will print the text or values to the console and insert a new line at the end. Insert a new line at the end of end, right? Right now it will print whatever and then it will add a new line at the end. We know already the right now printf method. Now printf method is for print formatting. Right now what it does, now it will print the formatted text. It will print formatted text or values to the console. Right. Now here it will use the formatted text or values to the console. Right. Now what are the how we can format? Right now, if you want to have right now, this is where right now we have been always using F for float values, F for float, and we use percentage first. Percentage is for literal, and then we have F for float, and what else we use? S for string, S for string values, S for string, and B for Boolean. Likewise, we have some flags that I also can't remember all. And what else? Very important ones. Yeah, we'll see. Right now, how can we use these? Right now, this was available after Java 1.5. Right now, how can we use this? Right now, in order to use this, let's say now, if you want to display something, let's say integer value you want to print, right? Now, if you want to print an integer value, and then or let's say a numbers, yes, right. Now we'll try it here. For the time being, let's say we have integer x equals 10. Okay, 101. Long integer. Right, and then I'm gonna print this x right now. This is how you use the print method or println method, right? Now, if I use a printf method, let's say if you want to have, let's say we have some bigger number, yes, 115,950 per yes. Right. Now here I want to have the 1,000 separators as well for this one. Then I can have it like how? Right. Now let's see. Okay. Then I want to display this, the formatting first. Therefore, inside the double quotes, the format. What is the format? It's a literal. and comma. Right. Then I want to separate 1,000 separators. I have to use. Right. I want to use 1,000 separator. So I want to display this as a decimal integer, whole number, because I want to represent this as a whole number, as a decimal integer. Right. Then I'm going to mention it as D. I'm going to mention it as D. And right now, I want to, right now, I want to have a N is for the line break. No, yes, we'll have N as well. N is okay. Without N, what will happen? And with N, what happens? We'll see. Right now, if you run this, right now you can see here. Here it shows as 15,950. Right now, if you do not have this component, what will happen? Now we'll see. Now you can see here, right? Even though you have, okay, if you have two lines, then only you will see this. Mm, let's say we have y equals double, y equals, now I'm going to mention it as y. Right. Okay. Now we'll see what is happening over there. Right now you can see again illegal format conversion. Why? It says D, that is for right now in here. I am using Java lang dot double. I'm using Java lang dot double, but then D is for decimal integer. Right. Then here I want to say it's a floating F. If it's a floating point value, I can mention it as F. Or if it is hexadecimal, I can use A. Right. Now you can see here, here it shows me like this. Right. Now, why is this all things in same place? Right. The problem here is I have not used the slash. And that means I have not used the new line indicator. Right now, the new line indicator I need to put. Then the new line. Right now, I can mention it as modulus. If I use modulus n, that means the new line indicator. Right. Now we'll see. Now here you can see now, here it goes to the next line because I have used n. Therefore, as told you previously, now these remember. Right now, n is for modulus is for literal, n is for new line. If you are using this printf function, you need to remember these at least. Then d is for decimal, integer. Right now, d is for whole, well, what do you call the decimal integer? And F is for float, S is for string, B is for boolean, and C for character. Right. Now, likewise, you can have. Right now, let's see how can we format. Right now, let's say this is how. If it is a long value. Right now, let's say if it is a long variable. if it is a long variable, whether this will work. The D value, decimal integer, now you can see it works. Therefore, the number itself could be an integer, long, or whatever, right? Then the formatting specifier should be modulus D, right? Right now, if you want to format the decimal values, right? Now with the decimal values, the number formatter should be used F. Right now, then F again. Let's say I want you to have, let's say this number. I want you to have, let's say 0.3F. Okay. Let's say I'm going to have 0.3F. 0.3F. Right. Now what's going to happen now? 0.3F. Now what does it say? Right now, missing format with exception. Right now, why? Now format with exception. Right now, this would work like now I am saying a 0 decimals, right? Here, let's say okay, let's say we have something like this 0.1, okay, 10.15, and then I'm going to say 2.3. Now you can see here it shows me only two values, two decimals at the beginning. If I say 1.3, now again, now I am going to say display only one whole number at the beginning. Right now, but it does show 10 right now. Okay, then what is 1? And then if I say 0.3 right now it will here now I'm saying 0.3 0.3 right now you can see it gives me missing format with exception. But even if I say 1, now 1.3f, now it shows me 10. Right now, why don't you quickly figure out and tell me what this value represent? Now, whether is it the number of integers? Because if it is a number of integers, now let's say 710 I have, then it has to display only one value. Now it displays all. Right now, what do you mean by this one? Or what do you mean by two? Or what do you mean by likewise? Then if I have 5 here, what did this right now? What does it represent? Now that's what we need to come up with. See, quickly figure out and tell me what is this value. Right now, what does it says is, right now here, this doesn't say the number of values, right? This doesn't say number of whole numbers or number of integers. No, what does it say is the minimum width. Right now, even here, even if it is a decimal value, right now, if I say the 3.2, that means the minimum width would be like now here, this would display two decimal values with minimum width of 3. Two decimal values with minimum width of 3. Now here it says uh, 0.1f means one floating point value, one decimal value, and a minimum width of 5 characters. Minimum width of 5 characters. Now, hence, there is no 5 characters here. Now, the space will be allocated from the left to make it 5 characters wide. Therefore, and here it says 5.1f means the minimum width of the number is 5 characters. It could be more than that. The minimum width is 5. Therefore, if there is no 5 characters, it will have the it will leave the space by making spaces from the left. Right now, this will be now you can say padded with spaces. Right now, we need to make it 5 characters with minimum. Right now, even if you can change it to a larger value and see what does it say. See, now this says the minimum width of the number here is 7 characters. Minimum width. That's why if you say 0, it gives you error. Why? Because why? The minimum width of the number. If you have 1, it doesn't matter. 1 point something means what? The minimum width of the number here is 1 character. Okay. Right now, this is how you represent floating points or the decimal values. Right now, if you want, you can have a slash n, or else you can have modulus n. Modulus indicates a literal. Right now, we have already discussed. You could do it like this. Right. Right now, if you want 5 decimal values, then you have just say, let's say now here if it is 1.5, we can say 1.5. Then that means the minimum width is 1 character. Therefore, you can have many more than that. But the floating points are limited to 5. Then you can see here it is only 5. And here it says only one floating point character. Therefore, only one decimal point is there. That is how you format the decimal values. Right. Now we discuss about integers and the decimals. Right. Now, Boolean value. Right. Now, if I try to use it with, what did I say? Booleans are by B. B. And okay, let's try the Boolean value first. F. I'm gonna have f and e and x and y. What will be the values? Now you can see for f it says true, e it says false, and for the x it says true, and y it says true. Right now, for an example, let's say I have a negative value for the variable x. What will it display? Right now, even for the negative value, it says true. And then if I have 0, right now, even you can say it says 0. Right now, then what you have to understand is, right now, when you're using Boolean formatting, when you have an integer, what it does? That you need to figure it out. Right now, when you have a Boolean formatting, what it does. That's what you need to figure it out. Right now, quickly think and tell me when it will return false for an integer or double value. You can see if you use capital B letter, right now instead of simple B, it gives you in capital letters true or false. Right now, here you can say for the long variable and the double variable, I have given 0 or whatever the number. Now it gives you uh, true. Right now, when it will return false. Now that's what I want you to figure out. Tell me quickly. Right now, remember the comma we used previously, that is to group by thousands. Right now, we use comma, that is to group by thousands. Thousand separator. Okay, what do you mean by here? For what values it will give you 0? Right, since it is taking time, I will tell you quickly. Right now, if you use simple B, it will be displaying true or false in simple letters. If you use capital B, it will display true or false in capital letters. Right now, if it is a Boolean values, it doesn't matter at all. We already know it. And now, if it is an integer variable, right now, here, let's say if it is a no matter what you have here, even right now, here, like let's say I have not declared a value, but then when I try to use it now, it should give me an error because it's a local variable. Then I'm trying to use it without initializing it. Therefore, I will get an error not have been initialized. Therefore, even if I initialize it as 0, right now I have initialized the variable x with 0. Now here it should print. Right now I'm going to convert the value of the integer to a boolean. Right now, value of the integer to a boolean, then it will display it as true. Because no, but if the integer contains any number, it will display it as true if it has a value. Right now, for an example, when this will display false, right now, I will show you that using a wrapper class of an integer, right? Because integer cannot hold null values, no? Therefore, I'm going to use the wrapper class of integer, and for this, I'm gonna sign. Okay, now for this, I'm gonna have 0, and I'm gonna write and see what this third one would display. Right, the third one would display again, but as you know, it will display true because it contains a value right now. But now this variable can hold null values. Therefore, now if it is a null value, then you can see it will display false. Right now, this is what you call as int. Int x and integer. Right now, there are two different things. There are many different things. Right now, that you can call it as a right now, that is the main difference of right now primitive type and the wrapper class, because int is the primitive type we have been using, integer is a wrapper type. Therefore, int is a primitive data type, therefore that can hold only a simple integer value. A wrapper class, that is from the java.language package, and which encapsulates an integer value in an object. Therefore, it encapsulates an integer value in an object. Therefore, it can store null values. Therefore, we can use null values. Right, therefore, now when you're using the collections framework in future, then we could make it as integer wrapper class type. Then we could hold the null values as well when you're dealing with non-primitive objects. Then, because integer, the primitive data type holds only occupies 4 bytes of memory, right? It holds only 4 bytes of memory in order to store one integer value. But in the wrapper class integer, this is being an object, therefore, this will consume more memory than the primitive data type. Therefore, the default value for the integer right now, the default value for the integer is 0. The default value for the integer is 0. And for the wrapper class, here, integer, here the default value is null. Right. Therefore, the primitive data type integer cannot become null because it could be 0. Right. The default value is 0. But the wrapper class integer objects can be null as well. Right now, that is what the simple differences between the wrapper class object and the primitive data type. Right now, what I wanted to show you is if it is a null value here, this would display false, and if it contains a number, it will display true. And the main thing is how you can represent booleans. Right now, boolean, and then here literal, and then here the comma is for 1000 separated. Right. And then we have, okay, quickly we'll go through and what else we have? We have done numbers, booleans, after char. Okay, if it is char, if you want to format char values, let's say char, we have A, if it's the character single quotes. We can have C, which is char CH. Right now, if you use ch if the character variable, then um, this would display a. Right now, let's say if it is simple a, and then I'm going to do this. Here you can see it shows the simple a. Now here instead of this, I'm going to use a capital C. Now capital C, what it will do? Right. Right now, when you use the capital C, it represent now it represent uh, the capital value of it. Right. Then what if you use with the let's say integer a equals 70, okay, 67, 66. And then if I wanted to use a, now you can see here a contains a number. Right now, if you use simple C, that would be capital simple B, and if you use capital C, that would be simple capital B. Capital C means the uppercase character, then it would display capital B. See, and if you use simple C, here if you use simple C, okay, sorry, my bad. A represent 66 means capital B value, no? 97 maybe. 97 is, I guess, simple A or simple A. I can't remember. We'll see first. Okay, 98. Okay, now 98, the ASCII value of 98 represent the simple B. Okay, then if I use simple C as the here, the formatter, then you would see it would give me simple B right now. But if I want to get the uppercase value of this, if I use capital C, now this would represent the capital B. Now this would represent the capital B. Right. Now simple C and here you can see the difference right now. That is how you can work with the char value. Char values C is for the lowercase value, capital C is for the uppercase value. Right now, again, if you don't want to store a number here, right now we can have some values like we have, right, let's say 66 is for the what 66 is for the capital B, 98 for the capital B, and 67 is for the simple capital C, and 99 is for the therefore, hence we need to have 1, 2, 3, 4 formatters. Then I need to have, right. And the same thing, right, okay. If you want, you could use capital C in order to get the uppercase value of the given. Right. Here you can see it represents B, B, C, C. Right now. Now 66 is capital B. 66 is capital B. 98 means simple B. 67 means capital C. And 99 means simple C. And even if you want to get the uppercase values of this, you just need to make it as capital C. If you make it as capital Z, yes, you will all will be capital values. Right. Okay, why don't you try quickly? See? Right. Then you can you could try S for string. S for string, capital S for uppercase values. Right. Okay, why don't you quickly try it? What's with the string values now? Yes, if you use the string values right now, for an example, let's say string message is equals hello. Right, a mix of it, let's say. Right now, then if I have s and message, yes, so if you want, you can have slash and like here only one thing, therefore you don't need it anymore. Right now, likewise, you can have if it is this has to be capital S. Right now, whatever the way it in the given format would display hello world, but if you use capital S, all would be in uppercase. Right now, that is how you could work with the string. And then what if I have an integer value here, and you're gonna have modulus s, modulus s, and I'm gonna put integer also. Right now, what would happen? I'm gonna say this is a string literal, but I have passed an integer. Right now, you can say a cannot find symbol now. It has to be z, right? Right now, what should happen now? I'm mentioning this is I'm expecting the placeholder is a string. I'm passing an integer value. You can see the value of the integer as a string it would display here. Right now, if it is a float, 10.5 f, then it would display it as it is. Right. Okay. Right. Now, I think the rest you could figure it out. Right now, one more. Here, when you have multiple arguments you have passed, then you need to have the placeholders defined. Right now, let's say I have, let's say, message saying welcome, welcome user, and right now, let's say I have another variable called Jane and welcome to here, come to the let's say we have ear integer ear and right now likewise I have some values. Hmm. Let's say I have hmm, hmm, hmm. Right, okay. Then 1,000 separators also. Okay, let's say U1, U1, N equals, let's say, this is a long variable. Right, now you want this much. What does it say? Integer number too large. Right. Now I'm going to print this using here. Right now, the date formatting also there. I want you to prepare how can you use the date formatting with the printf function. Now let's say I want to display a string value view1. Here I want to have the long variable modulus. Uh, right now I want to have the separators, and then that has to be integer value. And again I need to have modulus as u1, and then I want to display lkr. Okay, I want to say hello Jane Doe, hello Jane Doe, and comma, and I want to say u1, hello Jane Doe, u1, and this much of lkr. Right, right now only one line, and the arguments are hello Jane Doe. Then I have say I am passing values as n and the name. Right now, here if you run this, you can see there is no order I am passing here. Here this placeholder is expecting at last it expecting a decimal value, therefore format conversion exception, because like now I'm talking about D and then here I'm talking about string, therefore the order is wrong. Then let's say I'm passing a message name uh, and n. Right, message name and n. Now I'm passing message name and n. Now it would display like u1. It says hello u1 Jane Doe, like the order is wrong, but you can see the thousand separators are there. See, because I have put the comma, then right now it shows me like thousand separators. Right now here, let's say now this is the order I want to pass, but I don't mind about the order, parameter order. Let's say I want to pass the way I want. Then here I need to say, okay, take this one. Oh, I want to get the values in order. Then I can say to take the first value, take the second value, then hello, Jane Doe. Like this is the zero, this is the first, and this is the second and third parameters. Sorry, arguments. Let's say now whether it's first, second, and third. Hello, Jane Doe. Hello, Jane Doe. Hello, Jane Doe, and the message you want. Message you want. 2D. Right now, let's see. What does it say? It says second 2D. 2, 12. That I can't remember exactly when it is. Right now, what does it say? Conversion S flags equals 0. Mismatch exception. Why? And now I want to say modulus 2s. Modulus 2s. That means I'm talking about the second argument has to be used. Second argument means 0, 1, 2. Name. And I'm going to say 0s. 0s means what? Right now. Right, okay, change the values and see how can we fix this up. How can we position this up? Right now, whether right now we'll have Now, for the time being, you can pass in the code into the format. Right. Okay. First, we'll try with this, and thereafter we'll figure it out. The way to do that: hello, name, and you want this right now. This will give you the answer correctly. Right. Yes. Hello, Jane Doe. Hello. Okay. The name two times I'm passing. The name. Message. Hello, Jane Doe. You want this much. Right. Now let's figure it out how to hello Jane Doe, you want this much, right? Now how to have the ordered list of parameters. Mhm. Let's take care of the decimal later on. Name and message I'm gonna pass. Hmm. Okay, and then let's have slash n at the end. Jane Doe you want. And then the next one it says Jane Doe you want. How comes that? Hello, Jane Doe. Hello. Right. Jane Doe, you want. Jane Doe means passing to us. Right. No, this has not taken. Right. My bad. My bad. I think this has to be one, and this has to be two. The position has to be indicated by the dollar sign. Hello, you one me is the second one. Right now, let's say now here, if you have passed the way not according to the order right now, then I'm saying hello. Take the second parameter, second argument is Jane Doe. Hello, Jane Doe. And take the first argument, which is $1. That means you won. Right now, here, let's say, how can we pass this? Yes, I forgot the dollar sign. You have to use the dollar sign in order to indicate this. Right now, let's say I have passed in first, and the name for second, and the message. Right, but now I want to say hello, Jane Doe, which is the second argument. Then take the second one, module dollar two. Take the second one, $2, $2, and hello, Jane Doe, you won. You won is the message. That means one, two, three, third parameter, $3, and here I want to get the value. Value is the first $1. Right. With the integers, whether it works, that's the problem. It might not work with the integers. Hello, Jane Doe, U1, what does it say? The conversion. Ah, conversion. Right. Yes, it is. This is how it works. Right now, this is how you use it. Positional arguments. Right now, you indicate the position of the argument using the dollar sign. Here the error was the thousand separate I have used beforehand. Therefore, that has to be used like this. Right now, this is not what we use every day. That's why I could remember all the time. And then, but if you wish to have this, you may try. Right now, right, the problem of ours is to display this array in the multidimensional array values according to the format. Then how can you do that? Then you could use printf. Okay, think of a way how to format this in order to represent the first column, second column, third column values only as integers, and the last column values only with two decimal values. Only with two decimal values. Okay, think of a way to do it. Right now, but how can you do that? Yes, you can say right system.out.printf. The formatting we have to mention first. Therefore, now we don't need this part. Right now, how can you format this? Right now, this has to be an integer value, right? And then let's say the thousand separators would be an added value. Okay, it's a double, right? Okay. Then I'm going to say minimum value is 0.0 f, right? Percentage 0.0 f, percentage 0.0 f, right? Comma this. Right now, what's going to happen? How can you use a thousand separator? That let's try it out. Okay, I have not used the spaces or anything, right? Yes, that I have to correct it. And here this won't give you the exact output what I'm expecting. Right, now it will give me an error. Now the problem here is now what? Okay. The what was missing in the first place? What was missing in the first place? Yes, tell me, how can you do that? Now I want to say what? 0.0 f, and I want to have spaces here. Then I'm going to have slash t, 0.0 f slash t, right? Here this should keep on asking the number. Right, now the separator, yes, I have put the separator here. Right, now the separator, yes. How can you put the separator here? That's another problem. Then we'll figure it out later on that. Okay, 0.0 f, 0.0 f, I'm going to say 0.0 f or 0.0 f. Why is it? Oh, 0. You can't put zero, then mix for missing format with exception. For sure, you will get end up by that. No, I can't use it. Right, my bad. 1.0 f. 1 means the minimum width is 1. Then I'm saying minimum width is 1. Therefore, 1.0 f. Right. Okay. Then uh, right now this is what it does display. Right, the thousand separators has been used. But now this is not what I want. The last one I want to have by 2 decimals, the square root value. And I also wanted to have a heading as well. Right now, if you want, you can have the print function as well here, printf, what you want to have. What number n slash t square to the power 2 dash t to the power 3 power 2 to the power 2 to the power 3 to the power 4 dash t square. Right now, I don't need to do it like this. Therefore, I'm gonna do this only up to -1 times, and then I'm gonna display here. I'm gonna have 1.2f, two decimal values, and then I want to go to the next line. Therefore, /n. The what would be array I j. I don't know. The last one would be fourth. Right. Okay. Let's try this one. Let's see. Then I no longer require this now. Right now, yeah. Okay. After this, we need to have slash n. That's it. So this is how it's gonna. Right. This is how you use a multi-dimensional array to do this. Okay, quick to try out, and if you have any questions, you can ask them. Okay, shall we proceed?
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. Then here I'm going to talk about the string class. Right now, string is not a primitive data type. We have discussed that previously, and string is a reference type. Right. Then, like how you can create a string variable. How you can create a string variable. How many ways are there? Right now, in order to declare an array, we discussed that you could you could initialize, you could declare an array like this, or you could explicitly list down the values using the curly brackets, like as we discussed. Right, then my question is, how can you create string variables, string objects? Have we discussed about the string? Okay, in string, okay, let me repeat this quickly. Here, we are talking about the string class. When you're creating a string variable, what happens here is it will create an object in the heap memory and it will refer to the object in the heap memory. Right now, this is what you call as heap memory. Uh, the heap memory, right? And then here, this is the reference variable, and this is the string object. Right, now this is what happens when you create a variable, reference variable, and assign it to a value. This is what happens, right? Now later on, when you say SC equals John Smith, what happens here is, again, it will create a new object. It would create a new object, and then with the new value, John Smith. Thereafter, what happens is, it will remove the reference from variable s to the string object. It will remove the reference and it will add a new reference to the newly created one. It will add a new reference to this one. Now, the Jane Doe will be there in the heap memory with no reference, null reference object. This is a null reference object. Now, it will now the variable s is referring to Jones. Now, let's say here in the meantime, if we have mentioned that SC equals Jane Doe and the string, let's say X also equals to S. X also equals to S. X also equals to S. By this time, what happens? It will create another reference variable called X. It will create another reference variable called X. Then, now that is referring to, and initially, what variable S was referring. Initially, variable S was referring to Jane Doe, therefore X also referring to Jane Doe. And thereafter, you said S equals John Smith. Now, X is referring to Jane Doe, S is referring to John Smith. Now, we'll see whether is this correct. How? By running this, printing S value and the X value. Right. Now you can see S refers to John Smith and X is referring to Jane Doe. X is referring to Jane Doe. Right, now as I said, string objects are immutable objects. Immutable objects. Right now, immutable objects, therefore, once create cannot change. Once create cannot change. Now for an example, right now after you creating Jane Doe, right now you feel like, okay, now, okay, X is referring to Jane Doe and S is referring to Jane Smith. No? Now S, I'm going to say, okay, John Smith, the name was wrong, I have mentioned. Then it has to be Will Smith. Right now, what happens? Now, not John Smith, it has to be Will Smith. Right now, what is happening is it's going to create a new object, new string object called Will Smith. It will create a new object called Will Smith, and it will update the reference. It will update the reference of variable S from John Smith to Will Smith. Why? Because S is referring to Will Smith now. Now this is referring to this. But what happens to the John Smith? John Smith object would be there even though no reference is referring to the John Smith object. Therefore, that you call as a null reference object. Now, this is where you should remember Java has garbage collector. We discussed at the very first. Java has a garbage collector. Then the garbage collector runs time to time. Then the Java virtual machine decides when to run the garbage collector. And if there is a null reference object, then those objects will be removed by the garbage collector, right? Therefore, and by any chance, after later on, and someone, let's say, when someone says, okay, string variable z is equals to, let's say, John Smith. I'm going to say this is equals to John Smith. Right now, what happens now? Okay, then that means I'm saying Z is referring to John Smith. Now, this won't create a new object. This won't create a new object. Instead of creating a new object, it will check. Now, here, this in the heap memory, we have something called string constant pool. Then here, before it creates this object, it checks in the constant pool. Is any object? Is there any object called John Smith? If it is, it will add the reference to this. It will add the reference to the object existing. Because string objects are immutable, once created cannot change. Therefore, you don't have to worry about this object because this object values will not change. Therefore, rather creating the same object again, rather duplicating, you can add a reference to the same object. That is what you call as immutable behavior of string objects. Right now, right now, what we have discussed so far is here. Let me clear this. String objects are immutable objects. This is how you can create string variables, right? And therefore, this is what we have discussed, right? You could create string objects using calling the constructor or by assigning the values directly. Likewise, you could create. This is what happens when another variable was referred to the same object. Now, new reference will be added to the same object. Since if you want to change the ABC into ABE, then you have to create a new object because some other variables also are referring to the same object. Therefore, if you say now previously you said string S equals ABC, what happened? You create a string object called ABC in the heap memory and variable S is referring to the object. And thereafter, when you say string S2 is equals to S, new reference variable called S2 created, and that is also referring to the same object. Now, if you say S equals S dot concat DEF, then new object will get created called ABCDEF. and variable s reference to the ABC object will get removed, and then it will be added to the ABCDEF object. Right now, S2 is still referring to the ABC object. Right now, here my question is right now, let's say when you print x equals Java and x dot concat rules, what will it print? Is it Java or Java rules? Now that's what you have to check. Is it Java or Java rules? If it is Java, why? If it is Java rules, why? I want you to tell me the reason as well. Quickly figure out and tell me. Is it Java or is it Java rules?
Prince Java.
Okay, it prints Java. Okay, now do you think why it is? Yes, it prints Java. What happens here is, right, um, when you do this first variable x, it will create an object and it will refer to the object Java. Right now, this object it will refer. And then when you say x dot concat rules, then it will create another object called Java rules. It will create another one called Java rules, but the reference will not update it because it will create in the memory another object called Java rules, but X is not updated to new object. Therefore, it would X would print only X would refer to the Java. Therefore, it would print Java. Write this. When you say X equals Java, it will create an object called Java. When you say X dot concat rules, it will create a new reference, sorry, new object called Java rules, but no reference created to the Java rules object. Therefore, X is referring to Java object. Therefore, X still refers to Java. Therefore, here the problem is you have not assigned X to X equals X dot concat rules. If you have mentioned X equals X dot concat rules, yes, then it would be Java rules. Right now here, what would be the output of this one? Two uppercase will convert into all capital and replace method will replace simple A with capital X. What the variable X would print?
No change. Display Java.
What will it print?
Uh, no change. It will print
No
same.
change. Yes, it would only just print Java. Why? Here it is not updating the reference to the Java rules. By second line, it will create a new object called Java rules. And by going to the third, it would create a new object in all capital Java rules. And then again, by here, it will again create another object called JXVX rules. But still exists referring to Java right now because no reference updated. By this one, what happens?
It will change.
Yes, now what happens here? X variable referring to Java, and then it says x equals x dot concat rules. Therefore, now new object will get created Java rules, and the reference get updated to the new one. Now, when you print x, it would display Java rules. Right now, still the Java object would be there in the heap memory. Right, and right now let's see this one. What would be the output? What would be the output?
Java rules.
Is it in
Method.
lowercase letters or a capital J, simple AVA, capital R, ULES?
Capital J, capital R.
Yes, or
Others
Java
are
rules with
simple.
capital J and capital R. Yes, because here it will create x.2 lowercase, will create a new object in lowercase letters, but the reference won't get updated. Yes, exactly. Therefore, here the output would be Java rules. Then it will create a new abandoned object called Java rules in simple letters, but the X is referring to the original one. Right, now the next one. I want you to do not write this. Think of this and tell me what would be the output.
Spring, winter, spring, summer.
When you call S1 equals spring, what happens? Let me. Now S1 is referring to spring. Right, and thereafter you say S2 is equals to S1 value. S1 value is spring and then space summer. Spring, summer. Right. And then it would create S1.concat fall means it would create a new object called S1, which is spring, fall, but no reference variable is there. And then S2.concat S1, S2.concat. S2 means spring, summer, dot concat S1, spring, summer, S1 is spring, summer, spring. Right. Now here this also S2.concat S1 will create null reference object and it says S1 equals S1 plus winter. S1 equals then S1 is equals to S1 spring plus winter, spring space winter. And when you print S1 value would print spring winter and S2 would print spring summer. Spring winter, spring summer. That is what it's gonna print. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you. Right. Then here's the main theory behind here is Java virtual machine reserves a special area called string constant pool. That when the compiler encounters a string literal, it checks the pool to see whether if it exists. If it is exist, the literal reference to the new address the existing chain. That means for the same object, a new reference will be added. Right, because string objects are immutable. Because string objects class is marked as final, therefore nobody can override the behavior of any of the string methods. So objects you are counting on to be immutable will in fact be immutable because it won't change. Once create cannot change. Right. This is what you call as string constant pool because whatever the object you create in memory string, that would be in the string constant pool. What happens is only the reference get created and references will be destroyed. If there are objects with no reference, then you call as null reference objects. Then Java virtual machines will remove the null reference objects time to time. Therefore, once you create an object in a string, cannot be changed, cannot be removed until the garbage collector removes it. Right. Now here when you say S equals ABC, what happens? It creates a one reference variable S and one string object ABC. Right now, if you create like this, then it will create one reference variable and one string object, and that string object get initialized by ABC. Therefore, two objects and one reference variable. Right, with the string, there are methods available equals, length, chart, compare to, index of, last index of. Likewise, we have some methods. Then we'll try out some set of methods and how we can use it. Right, then here if it is a string variable Jane Doe, right now we have that. Right now, let's say we have right now I have another variable called this is x and this is y. Right now, if you check the equals method, if you check the equals method, if you check the equals method, I want to check whether the equals method. Wow, what the equal method checks? Right. Right now we can figure it out. Like now we're gonna check x dot equals x dot equals y. X dot equals y. Now whether what will it print? Is it true or false? X dot equals y. Now you can say it says true. Now here I'm going to say y is equals to x. Referring to the same object I'm going to say. Now this also will return. I'm going to say y is equals to x. Therefore now it says, now you can say true. Because even though I have the same object, now you can see same value. Because what happens, it won't create a new object. It would create a new reference added to the Jane Doe object for both x and y. Right. Therefore, the string equals method will return true if the string contains the same character sequence. Right now, and also we have using the length method, you could get what is the length of the x dot length. Right now, it would give you how many characters are there. And also, you can get the first character. So, whatever the character you get, x dot char at by giving the index number. Whatever the index number, if you want to get the whatever the character at the given index, you could get it. Right, and thereafter we have let's say we can compare. Let's say a dot compare to b. A dot compare to, right now this would return an integer value. A dot compare to B. Then what the comparative method will do? It will return uh, negative value. It will return a negative value if the invoking string is less than the compared string. Right, invoking string is less than the right. Now let's say here this is C and C and compared to B. Right now, then you can see here this would return what? Why? This C is greater than B. What? The ASCII value of that is greater than here this one. Right now, therefore, the comparative method will return less than zero value if the invoking string is less than the compared string, greater than zero value if the invoking string is greater than the compared string, and if the both are the same, it will return 0. If the both are the same, it would return 0. Right, and then you can have the index of, let's say, Jane Doe, and I want to figure out when we have the A. Then I can have x dot index of index of x dot index of A. Right now, x dot index of A. Now you can say it will give you the index of the A. Now A is one, first index. Therefore, it would be A. Right now, let's say Jane Da. I have Jane Da. Right now, which one it give you? Like I have uh, right now A appears in two places, but it will give you the first occurrence of the A string, whatever the value I am looking for. Then the last index. I have another method called last index of. Now the last index of will give you the last index position of the given string value. Likewise, you have the methods right now. And there are method called concat. You have to figure out how the concat method works, and then how the replace method works, how the substring method works, and two lowercase, two uppercase, the trim. Right now, figure it out how the trim and then two uppercase, two lowercase, likewise. Because when you type with the string variable dot, you will get all the methods available. Therefore, equals ignore case. What's the difference between equals and equals ignore case? And what is the like now using this length method? We have discussed about length. A split method. What is the split method? And what is the replace method? And what is a strip? Likewise, there are different substring. You can see there are two lowercase, two uppercase. Likewise, you can see trim. Just see what you can do with these methods. Right now, commonly used ones I have given here. Concat, replace, substring, trim, two lowercase, two lower, two upper, two lowercase, and then two uppercase, two lowercase, two uppercase, and then yeah, replace concat. Yeah, try out these quickly. I'll give you a few minutes. Right. Now, how can you use the concat method? Let's say we have okay, equals method and equal ignore case. Let's quickly figure it out first, and thereafter we'll do this. And let's say I have the same thing with capital J, capital A, and capital E, capital O. Right. Likewise, I have. Okay. Then here now this one, if you check whether it is equals, right now it will return false because it says false because not the same string sequence. Therefore, it would say false. But if you compare it with the equals ignore case, that would return true because that does compare only the character, not the case. Therefore, same set of characters are there. Equals ignore case would return true. X dot equals ignore case y. It has to return true. Why? What is wrong with this? Okay, A and O is totally different things. No? J and O, here it has to be simple. Oh, yes, right. Yes, because it has to be the same set of characters, right? Same set of values. Then only it would return true. Right. It doesn't matter the case. Right. Now this is how you can do it. Right. Then if you want to find out, let's say right. Then if you have some set of spaces, right now, let's say y has some spaces at the beginning and at the end as well. Right now, if you check the length of the y dot length, right now you can get the length. Right. Then y. Right, one bracket is missing. And then if you use, what does it say? And incompatible types in cannot be converted to a Boolean. In cannot be converted to a Boolean. Who asked you to convert to Boolean? Right, what does it says? Y dot length 13. Right, y dot length 13. And then here, if you use the trim method, y equals y dot trim, and thereafter we'll check again the space. Right. Now the size, you can see initially the it has some white spaces at the end, at the beginning and at the end both. Therefore, the length is 13. Now thereafter, you can say when you use the trim method will remove all the white spaces. See here, 1, 2, 3, and thereafter here you have 1, 2. Therefore, altogether 5 white spaces at the end and at the beginning you have. Therefore, those 5 spaces have been removed because it won't remove the spaces at in the middle of this string, but at the beginning or at the end, if there is any white spaces, trim method will remove it. All right, now this is how you use the trim method, and you know that how to use the two low over two upper. Right now, if you want to try out for the two low over two upper, then it's easier. You can say x dot two lowercase, and it would convert to a all lowercase letters, and then you can say x dot to uppercase will convert to all uppercase characters. To lowercase to uppercase, right? Then yes, right now this is how you do it. Right now, thereafter, if you want to append concat, then if you want to say x equals x dot concat, And Jane, hello, extra Jane, welcome. Jane, do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right now, if you want to say pen cat will append to the end of the string. Right now, if you print x variable, now it will display Jane Doe as comma 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right now, this is how you can use the concat method, and also how can we use the substring. Let's say how to use the substring method, and then if you want, let's say s out x dot substring. Right now, there are three ways of you can do it. You can give the starting index and the last index, or you can provide only the start index, then from the given index to the until the oval, or you can have right now here you can yes, those are the two ways of do it. Right now, substring. Let's see. Substring, and then if you say from the only one value I am going to give you, Jane, starting from zeroth index, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's say 5. If you say Jane, substring 5, starting from 5, then what it would do, right? You can see starting from DOE, right? Then if you want, you can provide the string starting index and the last index value as well. Then 0 to 4, 0 to 4. Starting from 0th index and it goes up to 4, whether you can check whether how it works. Now it shows you J. And then here you have a space as well. That's why I did not give you 5. If you have given 5, it will take up to the fifth character. But fifth character is not there. But this is 0th, first, second, and third, and this is the fourth character. Therefore, when I say fourth, then it will come up to the starting from 0 up to the fourth character. Therefore, it will one before that it will. That's why space won't come. That is how you could work with the substring method. Right now, we discuss about char at, compare to, concat, um, and again, if you want to check whether this string contains, let's say, an, whether this string contains an, then if you want to check whether or d or do, whether this contains do, then I can check whether x dot contains, and then if I want to check whether let's say do do, or whether it contains do. If the string contains do, it will return true. That's how you can use contains. Now if it is not concat, contains, contains. Right now that will return true or false. And you can check whether the given string is ends with the given value or not. And last index of the given character likewise, and then you can use the replace also. Java, Jane, van. Let's say we have Jane van, and I'm going to say replace x dot replace. I'm going to replace what? A with x. Now, if you print x, now a values would get replaced. X dot replace. We have to assign it to, otherwise it won't create the reference. Therefore, that is how you could use the replace method. Then wherever you have a, it would replace with x, j, x, v, x. Likewise. Likewise, there are certain methods available. You can search with the if you are using NetBeans, so you don't have to refer any other guideline. When you type x dot, what are the string variable dot, you will get all the methods right now. See, you could try out, and then all the method descriptions also would be there. Therefore, you could figure out how you can use the string values hereafter, how to work with the strings. Right. Any questions you can ask with the string class? Any questions? Please ask now.